Welcome back, you guys. So we are starting a new chapter in math. So our first topic is going to be integers. So with that, we will be identifying positive and negative numbers, and we're also going to be looking at their opposites. So numbers always begin at 0. So their origin always starts at 0. So positive numbers from 0 on a number line will either go to the right or they're going to go up above 0. Negative numbers you will find toward the left side of 0 or down below 0, depending on if your number line is vertical or horizontal. So this word here, integers, is what we'll be talking about for a few days. So integers can be identified as any whole number. So you're counting numbers 1, 2, 3, so on, so on. Their opposites, which we'll talk about in just a second, and the number 0 can also be considered an integer. So all integers have an opposite number. Numbers are going to be opposite if they are the same distance from 0. So if we have this number line here and we have 0, if I go over 1, so we have 1 unit positive. So to get the opposite, I would have to go 1 unit negative. They're both 1 unit away from 0. So 1 and -1 would be considered opposites. So one thing to notice is that when we write positive numbers, we don't have to put the positive sign in front of that. We just know that they're positive. But when you have a negative number, you need to make sure that you do put that negative sign. So some real examples we can find of opposites are to have distances above and below sea level. So because those can be positive or negative. You can have in your checking account or your bank account, you can make a deposit, which is a positive amount, or you can withdraw money, which is a negative amount. You can have things that are just positives and negatives. You can also have things like the temperature that can go above or below 0, like on a thermometer. So in this example, we have this cliff diver, and our origin here is sea level 0. And he went 60 feet above sea level and jumped off the cliff. Then it tells us that he went the opposite of that underwater. So then he continued on down here. The opposite of 60 is going to be -60. And if we write that out in words, we would say that he went 60 feet below sea level. That word right here, below, matches our negative sign right there. So in an atom, we have protons and electrons, and they'll have positive and negative charges. So here we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. And then if you'll count the negatives, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negatives. So the question asks, is there a balance? And yes, there is a balance because these are opposites, so they cancel each other out. So here's a copy of a checking account. So the word balance is how much money that you have. So this person started with $80 in their account. And remember, if we do not see a positive sign, we can assume it's positive. So this person deposited $100 into their account. If they withdrew money, we would see that negative sign in front. So they deposited $100. So we can see now their new balance is right here. So their deposit was $100. And then it asks us, what would the opposite of the new balance be? Well, the new balance is 180. So the opposite of 180 would be -180. Okay, and last we have this thermometer here. So we can see our origin here is at 0. It's counting in increments of 10. So each of these tick marks is standing for 2. So here's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So starting up here at the top, we have here's 80, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 88, the opposite of that is -88. Here, this one is right on 60, the opposite, -60.